We will now move on to the Chief's Award for Excellence. This honor is given to employees and/or citizens who perform courageous acts, provide life-saving techniques in an effort to preserve life, or provide excellent services and commitment to our community, but do not meet specific criteria for any of the other awards. Officer Wade Kamen. On August 20th, 2011, while en route to assist with a multi-agency pursuit that ended in an officer-involved shooting, Officer Kamen observed a two-vehicle rollover collision involving a Phoenix police officer. Recognizing the seriousness of the collision, Officer Kamen immediately diverted himself to provide assistance to the situation. While the Phoenix officer was being assisted, Officer Kamen went directly to help the citizens involved. Once the citizen was stabilized, Officer Kamen returned to assist other officers and citizens as they worked together to extricate the Phoenix officer from his vehicle, which was then in flames. In the end, and no doubt attributed to Officer Kamen's quick actions, only minor injuries were sustained by everyone. His actions exemplify the highest standards of the Glendale Police Department. I'm going to assume he's not here at this time, but we still honor him tonight. Sergeant Mark Langford. On January 24th, 2012, Sergeant Langford was the first responder to a car-pedestrian collision. Sergeant Langford simultaneously established command and provided direction to other responding units while assessing and providing continuous chest compressions to the pedestrian. A citizen watching reported that Sergeant Langford's actions went above and beyond his sworn duty and noted that any chance the pedestrian had to survive was due to Sergeant Langford's actions. Despite his valiant efforts, the victim did not survive, but Sergeant Langford's actions exemplify the highest standards of the Glendale Police Department. Officers Sean Dirks, Cody Howard, and David Schregel. On July 27th, 2012, Officer Dirks, Howard, and Schregel responded to a call where they located a man suffering from a gunshot wound. These three officers worked together to provide first aid until Glendale Fire Department paramedics arrived. A significant point we want to make about this call: these officers had just received training and new first aid equipment to help them respond to medical situations exactly like this. Although the victim did eventually succumb to his injuries, the efforts of these three officers did prolong life and as such exemplify the highest standards of the Glendale Police Department. Officers Jamison Hubbock, Michael Acero, and Thomas Hammer. Here tonight, Officer Acero. On October 29th, 2012, Officers Hubbock, Acero, and Hammer located a man victim of an apparent heart attack. He was unresponsive and not breathing. As a result of their professionalism and training in a valiant effort to save the man's life, they took over life-saving efforts from two off-duty emergency medical technicians, enabling the victim to maintain a pulse until fire rescue crews arrived to transport the victim to the hospital. Officer Mark Fraulich. On December 15th, 2012, Officer Fraulich was first to arrive on the scene of a car pedestrian accident. He took over life-saving efforts until Glendale firefighters arrived. After being relieved, he continued to assist in controlling the scene by supporting the visibly shaken family member who witnessed the incident. The professionalism and compassion demonstrated exemplifies the highest standards of the Glendale Police Department. Officer Amy Plummer, Officer Alan Seidel, and Sergeant Jeff Turney. In response to a shooting call on December 31st, 2012, Officers Plummer and Seidel, along with Sergeant Turney, entered a chaotic scene and determined the victim of a shooting was not breathing and had no pulse. These officers immediately began life-saving efforts, even though the victim was initially unresponsive. Soon, the victim regained vital signs. These officers remained vigilant in monitoring him until fire rescue crews arrived. The officers and sergeant exemplify the commitment of law enforcement to the citizens of Glendale.